Hello everybody and welcome back. I apologize that I kind of disappeared over the last couple of months. To put it bluntly, my dad was home back in January, and after he left, things just kind of really got hectic again. So, yeah, I haven't really been on playing too much. I also started doing a little bit more writing. I got a fair bit of writing done actually on my book. So overall, I've just had other things that I've been doing, and when I've been doing them has been late at night where I really don't want to be doing a whole lot of recording. So unfortunately, that basically just means that I haven't been doing a whole lot of gaming. I will also admit that I've kind of fallen into watching a few anime, which, for those of you who watch anime on a regular basis out there, you'll kind of understand what kind of a pitfall that can be. Primarily binging series that have already been out for like a year or two and just watching and watching and watching until I'm done with it, and then moving on to the next series in line and the next series in line, and basically doing anything other than actually gaming, again, because late at night, and, well, yeah. So there's also been the fact of just trying to make sure that I'm getting enough sleep, that everything else is being taken care of. But, yeah, again, we also had some issues going on with some of the cats, which that in and of itself was, for those of you who have listened before, you already know that's essentially already a full-time job in itself, keeping up with the cats around the house. Even though we're down to 43 right now, which is still a damn sight better than the 70 we hit last summer. We won't go there again. It's still just been a pain in the ass trying to keep up with everything. Also trying to get into a slightly better sleep schedule, among other things. But overall, it's just been a pretty hectic couple of months, just getting everything straightened up, getting a house cleaned up, getting the house back in order, getting basically life back in order, and some semblance of, I guess you could almost say, normalcy, where we actually don't have to do that much. So, yeah, it's something that we've been working on, and hopefully we're getting there to the point where I can actually start getting into things again. On another note, for those of you who out there who are my World of Warships fans, I apologize profusely for this, but I am genuinely considering completely dropping World of Warships. The tech lines that they that they've kept reintroducing, or the new tech lines that they've been introducing, changed everything so drastically every other patch or so. I haven't been playing World of Warships that regularly, which also impacts the enjoyment of the game. So every time I get into the game lately, it seems like I have to relearn everything. And not just from the standpoint of playing the game, because again, there is a learning curve on the game. And if you spend a little bit of time away with it, you have to relearn how to project lead properly and all of that again, even if you're just playing co-op. But there's also having to learn to deal with new ships, which if you say you're only 2 tech lines behind, that can be a bit of a bear, but it's doable. At this point, I've missed, 3 separate tech lines? And looking at videos from some of the community contributors, they're talking about actually fully introducing super ships. Who? Something that Wargaming had said before that they were never going to do. Kind of the same thing in line with submarines. And I'm still trying to make friends with the CV rework, even, 2 years later? It's... I'm just... I've firmly lost interest in World of Warships at this point, and now I'm moving on. I'm genuinely moving on to other things. I've still got an entire playthrough series of Mass Effect that I want to do, even though I've played it like a dozen times before. I've got Elite Dangerous that I could always get back into if I wanted to. I'd have to relearn all of my controls. But Elite Dangerous hasn't even changed all that much by comparison to World of Warships. And I mean, I've also got the Witcher series that I'm working on. I've also got a couple of MMOs in mobile that I'm working on. One of which I might do a small bit of recording on just to showcase a little bit of later. Definitely not right now. But I've gotten BlueStacks onto my computer, so if I wanted to, I can record it and show it off to you just a little bit. Let's see, other things. Transition is going relatively smoothly. Or I should say it's going relatively smoothly again. My doctor had me drop back on my testosterone blocker for a little while. And that was okay for like almost like a week or two. I guess whatever was built up in my system was slowly working its way off. But then it's like I hit a certain level where I think my testosterone levels were spiking again, or starting to spike, and my entire behavior, my mood shifted dramatically and in ways that I was not even remotely comfortable with. Keeping in mind that I have been in transition for about almost 2 years now. I'm 3 months shy of 2 years. Hoorah! But my system is so much more geared towards the feminine side of things now. I'm far more in tune with my emotions than I was before, even though even before I started transitioning. I was still far more in tune with my emotions now than I was even just 2 years ago, or even just a year ago. And I think the addition of the testosterone on top of that started bringing in just surges of... The only way I can say it is surges of anger. And not to elaborate too much on things, there are some things that I hold grudges over in my past. I'm not going to deny it. That to this day still anger me if they're allowed to resurface. And in some regards, they're also always in the back of my mind a little bit. So now, with being more in tune with my emotions, I am not as inhibited in showing my emotions. I was in an extremely foul mood for a good while. I very recently had my doctor return me to the level of the testosterone blocker that I was taking before, and my mood has slungshot right back to where it was before the reduction. So, yeah, that was not exactly fun. So yeah, that is something else that I am glad I was not really producing videos for that period of time, because I don't think I would have wanted you all to see me in that state. I was pretty I was waxing pretty dark there for a little while. And I never want to do that. Period. So, anyway, yeah. Overall, everything's going pretty well. We've got all the kittens are pretty much at the age where most of them have been adopted out. So now we're actually at the point of trying to adopt out some of the older cats that have been with us that had not adopted out before. We're trying to deal with some of the ones that have had chronic medical issues, trying to get them out of the house, trying to get them adopted out. And overall, things are starting to ease up quite a bit. We're working on it little by little. But I'm at least at a point where I think I'm comfortable enough trying to once again start getting my videos out. I apologize again so very much for the entirely unannounced hiatus. It was not intentional. In fact, I'm reasonably sure I stopped doing the videos about the time that the adjustment was made to my... Actually, no. About the time that I think my mood really started taking the downturn from the switch on my medication. And that... I think that just led into everything else that I kind of went through there. That kept me out of the games, kept me in the animes, kept me in web novels, everything else that I've been reading, watching, doing, writing. And so I'm wanting to get back into this, even if it's only just for a couple of hours a day, or not a couple of hours a day, even if it's only just for a couple of hours a week, it's still a improvement over where I have been. On that note, I will also say that I do have recordings from before I stopped posting videos that need to be edited, that need to be put together so that I can get them uploaded. But the recording is already done. I think I've got almost like maybe five recordings worth of videos that I've actually got on my hard drive that just need to be edited, clipped down, and posted. So maybe sometime next week I can get that done and start getting the videos properly uploaded. This is just me putting everything out there and, again, making my apology for just disappearing. And I apologize so very much to all of you. For those of you who have stayed subscribed despite the very distinct lack of posts or news, thank you very much for bearing with me. Nothing bad has happened to me. I haven't just vanished off the face of the earth. I've still been here. I've just been dealing with some shit that I needed to deal with. And yeah, so that's where things stand. On that note, I shall let everybody go. I hope you all continue to watch for my videos. I hope you look forward to me continuing my Witcher series on the games, and maybe even some other simple, minor content moving forward. And other than that, I'll catch you all again later. Have a good one, folks. Stay safe, stay healthy, and happy hunting.